So I want to thank everyone for taking the time to be here this morning. I understand that you're not going to get this time back again. So once again, thank you. We're going to go ahead and get started and kind of introduce ourselves, how long we've been in the market and real estate and what our goals are. I can start first. My name is Liz Casares. I go by Liz Casas because Casas is house in Spanish. I've been in real estate a little bit over a year. I started last February when I joined the Elite Builders, and I consider myself a top producing agent because I surround myself with top producing agents. I'm a listing agent, and so I began my career again last February when I decided that I've had enough of my 9 to 5, and I was in a very dark place where I was considering divorcing my husband. I thought, gosh, I'm gonna learn this. I'm gonna sell all these homes and I'm gonna get rich, and then I'm gonna leave him. And that's awful because we were having it was just such a dark, rough place in our marriage. As everyone knows, there's ups and downs, and it has to be, you both have to be on the same page. If someone's wanting to work the marriage out and the other person isn't, then it's most likely not going to work out. And so, needless to say, I came and joined the group thinking I was going to do one thing, and I joined the Elite Builders, and I realized, wow, this whole time, I wasn't looking at myself. I was pointing the finger the entire time to my husband and, blaming him for me being unhappy with my life and where I was in life and my career, and basically not looking within myself. I was, blaming him for all my shortcomings. So anyway, I joined real estate. I joined the Elite Builders, and prior to that, we're gonna backtrack a little bit. I was with another brokerage, just basically twiddling my thumb. They were telling me to wear my name badge, my name tag to the grocery store, and to kind of, expect for business to fall in your lap. Not enough guidance to where, I'm gonna go in and get a deal. So I was doing all the things they were telling me to do. I believe I did one rental lease the entire time there. So I don't count that time as me being in real estate because I literally did nothing. So fast forward to February, I joined the Elite Builders, and I met Jessica, and I said, Jessica, I want to do a lot of business like you. What do I need to do in order to, change my life? Not only change my life, but change other people's lives. And, she said, Liz, you have to do this. This is what I'm doing, and this is what you have to do. And the minute I realized she told me cold calling, I was like, I'm not going to be cold calling. What is that? I'm supposed to call strangers and tell them to list their house with me? Who's going to say yes to that? Right? And so I knew that there was no going back for me. I joined her. She gave me the scripts. She said, this is what you need to say. This is how you need to say it. And ever since, I've sold 15 homes my first year. And I was able to change my life, but also change other people's lives. I was able to purchase my home. I'm still in a marriage with my husband, and we are really happy. But the purpose of this event is truly to help you guys, to guide you guys in order to do more deals, more business, and teach you everything that we know so that you can empower yourself and empower other people. So I know a lot of other agents. They kind of see each other as competition. They don't want to share what they know or what they're doing, what it is that is bringing them business and how to go about it, because they're in a lack mindset. They're thinking, well, I'm doing this, but I'm not going to share with so-and-so because then I'm not going to get business. But truly, there is enough to go around for everyone, tenfold. So this is the purpose of this event, is to guide you, to help you, and to change your life so that you can change other people's lives as well.
What do we constantly hear about real estate right now? We're hearing everything. So we have the power to control our personal economy no matter what goes on in the market. And Jonathan's a perfect example. You know, you said, I got nothing else to lose.
Yeah.
I'm going to get on the phone. And you found some people that liked you, signed an agreement with you, and you made some money. That's simple. When I teach classes on social media, packed, like standing room only. But when we talk about prospecting, 4 people show up. 4. And why is that? Because our industry is afraid of hard work. What we want is deals to come to us without having to try. And I love social media. Obviously, I have all of you following me. But how do we go out and find business? Because sometimes people aren't going to say, oh, that's a cute house. Liz, will you show it to me? Every once in a while, but not always. So what do we do? Because the mortgage or the rent is due on the 1st, right? The light bill is due, right? So if the people on social media didn't reach out to me, what do I do now? And that's what I wanted to help anyone who wants to learn more about it, because it's what I've made my career on. It's the reason why in 2024, I had my best year ever, my most profitable year, and it's called prospecting. What is prospecting? I kind of want to give you guys a very rudimentary breakdown. Prospecting is calling people who are thinking about selling or buying a home in the next 30 days or less. What are some things, Liz, like when you're talking to a client and they say this to you, you're like, I can help them sell?
Yeah, so that's a great question. You have to really pay attention to their motivation. Like, why are they selling? What's the reason behind that they even put their house on the market? So whenever someone tells me, like, I ask them, like, hey, what's even got you thinking about making the move? Oh, well, we want to get rid of the mortgage. Why do you want to get rid of the mortgage? Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Are you guys getting a divorce?
I'm going to take a time out right here because I want everyone to understand. Would you feel uncomfortable asking someone, are you behind on your mortgage payments? You notice how she did it so easily to where she didn't think about it twice. She didn't make me uncomfortable. Like, if I genuinely am behind, now I feel comfortable to say, yeah, I am. I lost my job. And how many people are you talking to when you're calling expireds that this is something they're really experiencing?
A lot of people are they're underwater. Some people have gone into forbearance, and some people need to sell their house for less than what they owe on their mortgage.
Yeah.
And truly, what you have to find whenever you call someone, you have to find their motivation. And in order to find their motivation, you have to ask questions like, okay, well, your timeline, how soon were you wanting to make this move? Oh, well, we needed to make it yesterday. Oh, wow.
Yes, that is one of those cues that they're going to hire somebody.
Yeah, they're going to make a move because they were wanting to be sold yesterday. Why did you want to need to sell yesterday? Oh, because XYZ, or we're getting a divorce, or, we're having a 3rd baby and we have no room. So these are all people that are very motivated, that are going to say yes to you the more questions that you ask them.
And what are some red flags when you ask, well, how soon do you want to move? What's something that you hear where you're like, oh no.
Whenever they say, oh, we're not in a rush. I mean, we were just testing the market. That's a red flag. I mean, they just wanted to see how much they would get for their house. They're really not serious. And they don't need to sell. They could say, oh, if I don't sell it, if I don't get my price 600K, then I'm just going to rent it. They don't need to sell. They don't have a real motivation.
So what she's touching on is how to identify who's really going to do something and who's not going to do anything. Have you ever had a listing where you went after it once and you see it on the market 3 years later with like the 5th agent?
Yes.
So there are a lot of people out there who will sign a listing agreement but aren't actually serious about selling. And are we in the business of spending money or making money?
Making money.
I don't know about y'all, but I don't like paying for photos and TCs and all this stuff for no reason, right? Mm-hmm. We have enough expenses with our kids and our lives.
Yep.
So what Liz is doing is she's digging for motivation. Who is going to do something in the next 30 days? Well, I don't want to delay everyone because we were going to make calls. Does anybody want me to do like a role play before we get on the phones? Or does anybody want to role play with me before we get on the phones? Do you want to do it? I love it. You guys want to get on the phones?
Give it a shot, yeah.
Yeah. You can make calls or you can just watch. But yes, whatever you're comfortable with. I can do a quick role play if you want it. I'm going to do it before I get on the phone though. Why do we role play before we get on the phone? We always practice before we play. We don't practice before we go to bed. So role play is practicing before we play. We're about to get on the ball field. We want to be at our best shape. I always prospect standing up. Why do we prospect standing up?
You sound stronger, more confident.
Yep. And also movement is really good. Movement creates emotion, so it's really good to stay moving when you're closing. Why do you always see movies with like Wall Street brokers and, you know, power brokers? They're always moving when they're closing a deal. They're never sitting down because movement creates emotion, which gets a signature. Headset. I like gamer's headset. I mean, a lot of cold callers make fun of me, but those expensive. Do you have a Jabra? No. These things, these $300 Jabras, they break every 6 months. I've had this for 4 years and it was $68. So get a gamer headset. The first of the month is the day that we like to make expired calls because it's the most expireds. Generally, the way that agents write contracts is like the listing agreement expires the last day of the month or the first day of the month. So it's typically like the best day to make those calls.